Hello, don't mind me. I'm still getting home from work. Anyway, we're gonna do the reading for. I'm so sorry. This reading is for Virgos. That was a very wrinkle in time arrival into this reading. You might be feeling like you're coming from a very far, far, far away land. A land very, very far, far away. I don't know why that accent just came to me. It was very creepy. That's okay. It can be creepy. Creepy is not always a bad thing, especially if it's more like a spooky accent thing. By the way, this is the deck that I made. It's ready to be used. Like fine, fine wine. Oh, red wine is coming through. You could be a little bit tipsy. I don't know why I'm hearing everybody in the club getting tipsy. Um, okay, the whole deck wanted to come out. That's what I mean. Like everyone's jumping off the deck. Ooh. So I feel like there's certain cities that have one street or one general vicinity that's named after like specific repetitive names. Like everyone has a Martin Luther King Street. You can definitely find that in Colorado and in Atlanta. And I'm sure there's one in New York somewhere, right? Maybe a couple other places. I'm not aware. Maybe DC. I don't know. Right. Look, here's number 42. Wide opened. This is the space around us. It's ready to be used, occupied, utilized, but in a very specific way. It's a very particular system that this universe has so thoughtfully created for thine eyes, um, and for us to enjoy, But it's an us thing, not an me, mine, myself thing, okay? Not really. Yeah. That's the solitude thing. Yeah, you gotta like deal with your own crap so it doesn't come out on other people. Forward, backward, upside down, diagonal, or otherwise. It's almost like there's an awareness. If you've ever seen Benjamin Button, there's an awareness of chronological order, just like there's an awareness of multiple other planes of dimension. People joke about there being flatlands or the flatlanders, whatever, but there's actually an entire mathematical movie about form and shape, the way we perceive things from different angles, that is called the flatland. Yeah. So in a weird way, flatlanders are encouraging you to dissect and become ready to become spatially aware of the different forms and fashions that you contacted by yourself. So imagine meeting yourself on the street. Do you think that you would like yourself, or do you think you would be like, really don't like yourself very much at all? You might be kind of surprised, right? Or if you've always been someone that's very much enjoyed people who are on the street, maybe you meet yourself and realize, actually, my own company tends to be my preference. And that's not wrong either. It's not, yeah, that's listening. It's not wrong. Some people have more of a gooey situation than others that they have got to pick through. When you're listening to music through the air, it sounds really different than when you're listening to it through water. So if we're going to talk about Martin Luther King Street being in different locations simultaneously, maybe it's Martin Luther King Avenue, Parkway, driveway, whatever, circle in some areas. But the general title, the name, the power behind it comes from the way that you perceive it. Are you hearing that name? Are you seeing it? Is someone signing it to you? That's kind of where we're missing out. Virgo, I feel like you're having to say goodbye to listening to an echo of who you were. And that's not a bad thing. It means that you now get to be who you are. It's you. Ooh, like that was that like wrinkle in time kind of energy that I felt coming into the reading. You're gonna feel, oh, okay, it's a blustery day. in the neighborhood, in the blustery 100-acre woods, right? But that doesn't mean that you're not going to get exactly what you want. It means that you have to stop listening in one specific way to the opening, the doorway, the portal, the walkway, and listen to it with all of your faculties. You're going to be able to inspire a lot of people to discipline themselves in a very specific order that isn't necessarily what they're ready for, but it's going to be what happens. You eventually leave the stage of every stage of life, you know? It doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Sometimes you graduate. You gotta let go of the things that you were holding on to until graduation. Like, if you were holding a baby, you gotta have the baby. It's gonna age like fine wine and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. But you need to protect it, and it isn't something that you can protect when this is what's constantly raining down on you or lording over you, or something that you're being forced to listen to. It's like a sound deprivation tank instead of a sensory deprivation tank. It's one at a time, somebody trying to disable your ability to protect yourself. So you're going to install your own protection. It's already been installed. They just didn't know about it. And there's a lot more that they don't know, but this is the value of the tip of the iceberg. Is it only denotes 10% of what's beneath the surface. Yeah, that entire body of work can't actually be measured until that 10% is completely measured. 100%. It's like a Lucy upload. She's going to upload 100% because you just fed her a little pill. She was like Alice in Wonderland drinking little potions. Yep, there's Follow the Leader. This is 39 and 40. And 40. There it is. This is the tree. This is the proverbial natural element, the fifth element of nature. It's listening on all of the levels that we just talked about, and that's only one sensory system. We've been given a plethora of ways to do exactly this. It isn't that far-fetched to believe that some people could taste color or maybe smell tactily. No, I didn't say tactic. I said tactile. But if you want to find a tick on the tile, that is also considered a living being on the face of this planet, this earth, this world. This is what we're here to do. Protect what is ours and follow the leader. There are some that will dance in the streets and those that will not understand why they're doing so because they can't hear the music. They need a ladder to get a little bit taller to see over the fence. This is, Tim's tool time. Coming home to meet your neighbor who you never see except for this much of their face. It could be a gentle giant, but you would never know because you only see this much of their face at any given moment. It's a skill set that's actually learned. I'm going to take one from here again. I'm going to do it several times, allegedly, over this reading. So, yeah, here's a bold legacy gift. This is coming out in reverse. Yeah, someone's ready for, it doesn't have to be bold. I'm also hearing with the tactics and the tactile. being tactful, being full of tact. It means knowing your audience, being able to test the temperature, take the emotional IQ of the room into consideration while considering just about any action. Is that person ready? Is that audience ready? Have they been prepped? Does your reputation precede you? Are you notorious or are you rather shy? What did I just say? Here's the listening factor. Here's the one that's hearing it. Here's the one that's hearing it out. Hearing it right out. I don't know how else to help with that. This is off top. Literally, what are the things that are healthy to listen to? What are the things that are not healthy to listen to? What are the binaural beats that you would want ingrained into your genetic code? Is it the MLK speech? So we loved him, but we also killed him by loving him. It's just about everything that you love. If you're scared to love it because it's eventually going to die, just like everything does, then you'll never commit or invest to it. What were we saying about MLK? It isn't that we don't want those genetics, but the risk, the danger that you are put into when the general location of your giant BFG heart isn't even the right place. It can be wrong. And it doesn't mean that you didn't have good intentions. It means that that's the way love goes, to quote Janet Jackson. It's a good place to be in acceptance, but also understanding. This is also the difference. I got to clarify this supreme biology a little bit. This is knowing responsibility. This is being on the Supreme Court. This is understanding judgment in a way that you're not biased because of a personal loss that you may or may not take. That would be duress. That would be exploitation. That would be, all those nasty words. All those nasty words that we don't want to talk about. That's kind of what this is too. It's understanding that in order to do a job, which is listen, you have to be able to take the tax that goes along with that. If you want to be a supersonic hearing, for people want superpowers, right? Let's talk about supersonic hearing with supreme biology right here, right? When you're supersonically audio clairvoyant, is what that's called. This listening ability becomes almost secondary to you, Virgo. It's something that you can tune into or you can tune out real quick. It's like a zoom in, zoom out picture. There's a sign, there's a symbol, there's a missing detail. The devil's always in the details. That you can hone in on pretty quick. And it's kind of like one of those airborne Tuskegee experiments over here, but it's a sonar experiment over here. Sonic versus sonar. Tact versus tactic, right? So there's a way to combine the two that is way healthier and productive for everybody involved. Okay, and it's whether it's volatile or benevolent. Okay, and that's the point where you realize, you know what? In order to be a Mission Impossible top secret spy, right? Let's just pretend for a moment. Just fake it for a moment. You would have to give up something. You'd have to cut off your own arm. It's like giving up an arm. You got to give up having family. You can't really connect with anyone because it's dangerous. If you're a celebrity, I would imagine this is similar. You would cut your own arm off to be a celebrity or to be famous, right? But also, once you cut your own arm off to be famous, you now miss all the people, the places, the things that you missed, that you didn't know you were going to miss when you were not famous. Now there's no simple, easy night out on the town. Now there's no quiet movies, sneak in the movie and sneak out. Now there's no evening of bowling at the bowling alley with family and friends. Now it's paparazzis and marketing teams and labels and crazed fans and crazed fans and people who don't know how to necessarily understand that you're not just a walking brand. You're not a piece of meat on a meat market. You're also a human underneath it all. This would be the BFG part of you that's the big friendly giant. And you are hearing what everyone else is saying about you, all the judgment. People saying, oh, she just thinks she's all that. Or people saying, and she's all that. That movie with Freddie Prinze Jr., for example. When they're just like, oh, I bet you can't, and I bet you could make her look this way, right? This is the supreme biology that's also people looking down on you, Virgo. There's something about you needing to come to terms with both because it's going to be part of who you are. This is, for some reason, this is coming across real strong. That little pod right there is coming across like an ear pod. It's like having an earwig that was like crawling on you, so you drop your ear pods, you drop your earwigs. That's what this is. Drop your earwigs. If you've ever picked up a pine cone on a walk or something like that, one of those really big pine cones from those pine trees, if you drop it on the ground, a whole bunch of earwigs just scatter all over the place. It will gross you out if you're not ready for it, okay? But if you are ready for it because you've seen it before, you'll know exactly how to react. It's a step back where you just don't pick the pine cone off the tree, right? So it's going to be like, no, I'm not willing to sacrifice an arm and a leg for this. You know what I mean? If I have to choose family and friends over this, no. Sometimes those things get forced on you. Imagine Selena, how her own friends and her own family were the ones that kind of stabbed her in the back. That kind of stuff you can't control, but that's why your supreme biology needs to kind of remain centered. Centrifugal forces need to become homeostasis in a way that will send you on a trajectory of your own choosing. So the next combination that you're going to set doesn't necessarily have to be a sequence of numbers, but it is going to be a cipher that's maybe more of a combination of moves. It's like the knockout, but you're the Baywatch knockout. You're the new Black Barbie. You're new, okay? Like, you're the new girl on the block. You're the new girl on the block. That's what it is. New. But it's also understanding the difference between the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean. That when you're in LA, you're going to have a different experience out on the town, out in the village, than you are over in the city in Atlanta. You gotta know city girls. So there's a common denominator, which is the location. Obviously, yeah. Your local neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But it's also the day that this biology is